Hi there, and welcome to this week's live session where I am going to talk a little bit about the interview that I had with Anna, No More Sleepless. This is her Instagram handle, so check her out. Anna is somebody who had sleeping problems. She very openly shared her sleeping story with us, and I think it's just worth reflecting on that because there are so many takeaways that we all can kind of learn from. Because what Anna did was perfectly in line with what you should do if you want to find back to superb sleep. So if you're having sleeping problems at the moment, or if you want to cover any other aspect of your life, generally speaking, because what she essentially shared is also general structure for a change process. And she did it really well, I must say. So first off, I'm going to dig into two things in this that I found to be particularly interesting in this interview. I also want to, because I know I'm going to forget, so hi there, thanks for tuning in. I also want to share the link with that you can have a look at the entire video later on. I'm going to drop it into the comments, so check it out later. But for now, let's dig into Anna's story because it was really fascinating. So Anna had sleep problems, massive sleep problems. She was kind of like sleeping 2-3 hours a day on not only on occasion, but for many weeks and even months. And you can imagine how bad she must be feeling in that time. So at some point, she went to doctors, obviously, they weren't able to help her and so on. And she took the decision that she said, no, I will not. So that might be the first thing. She took a conscious decision and said, I'm not going to cope with this. I will sleep better at some point, and I'm going to do everything to reach that. So that's essentially the first statement. But then it kind of gets interesting. For whatever, it doesn't matter where you are actually standing. If you're having problems with your sleep, then hit the like button or drop me a yes. If you have, if you just want to change things, then that's going to serve you well too. Because what Anna did is essentially that she hooked up her desire to sleep well, to feel well, to deep purpose. So if you are thinking of changing anything in your life and you're having problems, then think of this. Anna hooked her desire to sleep better up to deep purpose. So for Anna, and if that makes sense, just hit the like button or drop a yes into the comments that I can see that. Anna hooked it up to deep purpose for her, and for her it was her kids and her husband. Let me explain this. So what Anna said was that as parents do, she was driving her kids to school and driving them around essentially, and she was feeling that it was getting dangerous because she was so tired and she felt that she was not kind of taking the responsibility that it would have needed to kind of take care of her kids, because she thought, I'm bringing my kids into danger. So that was a deep, purposeful reason to change that, right? And the other side of that was her relationship, because she knew if I'm going to continue to, get 2 to 3 hours of sleep every night, my mood is dropping. I'm not going to be able to nurture this relationship, and eventually I'm not going to have the fulfilled relationship that I wish for myself, for us as a couple. So that was a deep, purposeful reason. So whatever you do and are thinking of changing, always hook it up, not for small stuff, but if you are thinking of making something that is really hard for you, so you want to change things that you're kind of used to and your comfort zone is going to just pull you back, then definitely think of getting a purposeful reason in place. This is going to give you it's going to be the wind on your sails and let that ship move even if times get harder. So having a deep purposeful reason. That was point number one. Point number two that I want to dig in here right now is the handling of, if you want to change things. So for Anna it was sleep, and that's what we're talking about, what I'm talking about here when it comes to Sleeptrust. For Anna it was trial and error. So she had to test a lot of things to see what would work out for her, what would let her sleep better, right? So she did that. And if you try a lot of things, if you have to try a lot of things to see what works and what doesn't, you're gonna experience setbacks. And it's very important to do what Anna did here. So Anna said one very essential thing. She said when she did that trial and error, she acknowledged the setbacks. She said, okay, that's a setback. I know that this didn't work. Like kind of, you might know the story of Thomas Edison. He had, I think, 1,000 setbacks when he invented the bulb, the light bulb. So Anna did the same. She acknowledged that something wasn't working and changed. But what she did on top of that is to celebrate her wins. So when she found out that something worked or gave her a little bit more sleep, she celebrated that. So that's awesome. So celebrate your little wins, acknowledge your setbacks, and take them as a little bit of fuel to adapt your process. But don't let them tear you down, tear you back into the comfort zone, let you get frustrated. That's stupid. Push that away. Do it as Anna said. Acknowledge your setbacks and celebrate your wins. And these are two very powerful things. So if you're looking to find back to superb sleep, then keeping these two things in mind will get you well on track to find back to superb sleep. So if you're listening to this till now, we're into 6 minutes something, then maybe 3 takeaways, 2 tips, 3 takeaways. The first one is you have to make a decision that you will sleep well at some point. Just decide. That's up to you. If you can't do that because you're not sure, or just sit down and think about it long enough that you can make the decision, say, I will sleep well. I'm going to do everything for that. And then go on, find a deep, purposeful reason. Don't just say, I want to do that because I want to feel good. That's typically not a purposeful reason. It can be for you, it can be. But if you find something like, you're doing it for your kids, for your husband, for a bigger goal in the picture of your life, then that's going to give you a wind onto the sails of your ship. And when it comes to doing things, then start to acknowledge setbacks as what they are, a point to adapt your actions, and celebrate your wins. And then you're set up for success. So I'm sure if you're looking for sleep, this is the structure, a clear map to get started. There's so many points in this that they relate to many of the 9 steps that I use to bring my clients from, feeling bad, low energy, on bad sleep, back to those high energy levels, on the foundation of a deep and resting sleep. And those 2 tips contain, they map out to a lot of these steps. So taking these 2 things and getting started with them will guarantee that you get started. And if you need more information, definitely check out the podcast with Anna. I'm going to post it underneath into the comments. She, the entire video, the entire interview was fun to have and very insightful. For further information, check out sleeptrust.eu, obviously, where there are tons of content that you can use for your specific personal situation, that you can grab a single topic and work on that to get you where you belong to be much faster than you would on your own. And that's what I wish for you, that you find back to superb, deep resting sleep, to high energy levels, to feel good on a daily, everyday basis. And with that, I'm going to close out this session. Thanks for joining in again. And wishing you a lovely Sunday and, of course, a superb sleep. Bye-bye.